talking about YouTube and growing on YouTube in modern day. Obviously, I have to update you on my health. Um, so a couple days ago, I noticed I don't know what you want to call it, but it really hurts um, inside my gum on the top level, behind my lip. It really hurts. There's a sore there. I don't know how it formed. I don't want to assume what happened because it always could be the opposite. So let's not do that. Still have a lot of those lumps in the ears, those cysts in the ears. Still annoying, still vexing. I also have like a weird one, like two of them, I guess, if you want to consider that, formed outside my ear on my face, just very close to the ear. That's very strange. That is very strange. What else? You know that spot I mentioned a couple times ago? I have this spot on my chest. I don't know because I don't know why the spot is there because it's pretty dark, and on the opposite side, because on your chest it's two offs. On the opposite side, there is no spot. It's just there's even less hair there on the same specific dark spot. So the dark spot could also be that I had chickenpox a couple years ago, and a lot of those scars, I don't know if they did heal. I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if they healed. I don't know. I really am worried now because, anytime you see something irregular, it's scary. I don't know if I saw this spot even last year too, and I may have just forgotten about it. It seems like I saw it sometime before. I do remember, seeing it the beginning of the year, but I can't remember about last year. So I have some ice cream with me. Well, one ice cream. So it's basically Magnum. As you can see, it's a plain Magnum and it's so good. I don't know why it tastes like dark chocolates. It's not dark chocolate, it's the classic version. As you can see, it says classic. So it is miniature. I forgot how the big ones look like. So why is it very hard to grow on YouTube? Well, I'll tell you why. I think that times have definitely changed. I remember starting making videos on YouTube long ago, not on this channel, but on a different channel that's completely gone from the internet because because of copyright claims. I'll get into that in a bit. I mentioned this a bunch of times, but for those of you who don't know, let me explain. So I was, starting to get more used to YouTube ever since 2015. Now, obviously, we had a limit on our Wi-Fi, so we could not watch everything. And at the time, the Wi-Fi was in my sister's room. The modem was in my sister's room, and it had that long cable. That what do you call it? The I don't know how you call it. Whatever you pronounce it, that long cable that connects to the computer. That was like the only way we could use it at the time. And then something strange happened. One day a couple of weeks ago actually, before this, I heard my sister talk about, my oldest sister talk about Wi-Fi passwords and stuff, and I was wondering, what if the Wi-Fi password is underneath the modem? One day when I did not go to school, went to my sister's room, I, flipped the modem and took, I first took the one code, it did not work, then I used the other code and it worked. And I remember watching Naruto videos. I was so excited when I figured that out. And I started to watch YouTube even more. And then late 2015 came, and oh my goodness, late 2015 was such a different time. I'm not even joking. 2015 was a different year. it felt so different compared to now. It feels so primitive, in fact. Anyways, as I was saying, 2015 was going, and I wanted to upload a video. So I kept trying to upload full Naruto episodes, and I wasn't allowed to. I did not get copyright claim at all. I just wasn't allowed to because you can't really upload longer than 15-minute videos unless you reach a threshold. I don't know if it was a threshold back then, or possibly just you have to verify your account, or maybe gain a certain amount. I don't know. I don't know what you had to do, but you had to do something. The quality of this chocolate is insane. Really, really good. So what happened? 2015 came, 2016 came, and I remember on January 5th, I uploaded my first video. It was a Jurassic World MMV. Obviously, I call it AMV. At the time, I did not know what AMV meant, or MMV. I did not know. So I remember editing a video, Jurassic World, and back then, instead of just uploading the video and chopping parts out, I screenshotted the entire thing. I kept playing pause and unpause on every single moment. It was so embarrassing, really embarrassing. I'm surprised how I made so many. I did some anime versions, I did some movies. Some of them were just were posted, and couple days later, just taken off. I would get warnings. I never got strikes, which is interesting. I got claims, but no strikes. And then I started posting gameplay videos, and this was something very special. Where I'm seated at right now, that's where I shot my first gameplay video. I played Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the demo, which I remember trying to pretend to overreact and stuff like that. It was on a Sunday morning. I was 13 and a half years old. I was so young, and I was like really trying to make content. I was very cringy for some reason. I don't know why. I was just so cringy. And then I remember constantly making videos every single time, constantly making videos every weekend. And some videos I would make, but I won't post them. Maybe I felt it wasn't good enough, so I would not post them. And I remember I did something very strange on that specific channel. I was very greedy, and I decided to subbot. Now, I know this is very controversial, but back then I did it. And let me just say that I was caught immediately. This wasn't a huge scandal whatsoever, but this really affected my channel because I remember subbotting and I reached to like, I think 1,000. And then the next day, YouTube kept deleting my subscribers, the fake one. Because I used a website, a subbotting website, a free subbotting website, which worked for a moment. And then all of a sudden, something crazy happened. I just slowly lost all my subscribers, and then even the authentic ones, I had like I think 40 something at the time, and I lost them, and then I regained them back. And ever since then, I could not really reach 100 properly. Well, I did reach 100, and then I got stuck at 116. But anytime I would gain a subscriber, I would lose a subscriber. And the thing is that when you're a small channel that constantly loses subscribers without any controversy, that's a problem. So I remember December, I got a brand new laptop and I was so excited. I was like, oh my goodness, finally. Back then, the YouTube setup was so different. You needed a freaking microphone stand, okay? You needed that microphone stand, this one here. And I remember how I used to have like, I just used to use the tablet microphone, and then, that wasn't the greatest, but it was something. Then I remember getting multiple headphones. 2017 came, and middle of 2017, I decided to start a new channel on the same email. You can do that. You can have one email connected to like a couple of accounts. So then I created a new account. I mean, a new channel. Sorry, a new channel. And then when I created this new channel, something amazing happened. It was all about Monster Hunter and, well, other types of games too, but it was strictly Monster Hunter. And this was when Monster Hunter World was announced along that time. And I remember just, playing games. I used to record very differently back then too. I started that channel around like the July holidays. So I used to have my tablets, hold it right up ahead of me, like way up. Sometimes not so up, but I used to hold it quite up. And then I used to be seated flat on the bed, and next to me was my laptop. And I used to use the laptop microphone to record my voice, and I'll edit them at the end. Anyways, that's enough ice cream for today. Possibly. So, all right. What happened was I started making a lot of content, and I remember 2017 was a very strange year. I stayed at home a lot that year, and I used to make videos a lot. And I remember, see this black table, this one, this black table, it kept changing. I kept changing my setup every couple of months. And I remember at one point, this table over here, well, this brown table I'm using, well, it's my second table. Technically, it's my first table. Well, that table, this table, guess what? Used to have an old TV on, and I remember I used to use it for my Xbox, but then my Xbox stopped working, so I had to stop using it altogether. The TV did work, but just the Xbox did not. So it just felt pointless because I mean I only had 4 channels, and there was no need for me to play on the PlayStation anymore because it was just kind of cringe. Because it's like, you have a big TV in the lounge and then you have a small one over here, and sometimes the small one is a bit more grainy, and you know what I'm talking, what I'm saying. It's a very old TV, like from the 2000s. Obviously, it's going to be very different. Anyways, oh no, I dropped the ice cream stick. I forgot. I completely forgot that it's open. I'm such an idiot. And now my hand is slightly sticky. Let me just put this on. I don't know, where should I put this. Let me just leave it here because it'll get in the way. Okay, so 2017 came. It ended, and I remember having so much fun. I remember changing the setup so many times. One time, I remember I was recording this Let's Play series, this on this game. It was this bird game. The game, you play as this racing bird. I forgot. It's on the phone. You can get it on the phone. and PC, and it was a very interesting game. And I saw Jacksepticeye play it back then, so I tried to play it myself, and it wasn't the best. It was not the best, you know. Well, it wasn't for me the best. I'm sure now, like, if I played, it would be a fun game. But back then, I hated it because I made like 40 minutes of gameplay and nothing happened, or I wasn't really progressing that much, and I hated that. And I remember how the atmosphere was on that day. I think it was a Thursday or something, or Wednesday or Tuesday. Regardless, it was kind of sad. And then the end of the year came, December came, and I remember when I had chicken pox that year on, I think it was November, somewhere around November I had chicken pox, and then I started making videos again, and I remember I purchased this microphone you hook on your t-shirts. So what happened was, I remember my brother helped me with making a microphone stand out of color pencils. First I tried, it was terrible, and he just patched it up. He made something way better, and I'm happy that I was able to record. But the problem with the microphone was you needed to be so close for some reason, and it actually smelled like like fire for some reason, like burnt. I don't even know why it smelled like that. It wasn't a good smell. It was not a good smell, and the cable was very very long, like so long. Oh my goodness, you could possibly, you know, wrap it around someone. That's how long it was. And even for that microphone, I had to use, I had to get like a different USB plug-in because the microphone had a different type of pin that doesn't really fit well. The aux cable of that was very different, and you needed to get like a USB adapter for microphone and your headphone. And I still have one of mine. I don't know if it works, but I remember throughout the past few years, I only purchased two. So, they can last long if you take good care of it. Anyways, moving on, 2017 came and 2018 came. 2018 came, and it was a very busy year for me personally. The year was the most craziest year ever. I'm not even joking. That year was filled with so much of problems and ups and downs. I really hated that. So I started posting more videos, more gameplay, and I was having fun. But the problem was that um, that I was playing a specific video game. Back then, I had no idea if the video game was bad or not. So I kept playing and playing the game. Towards like, I think August, I uploaded like the 22nd or 23rd part of that Let's Play. And you know what happened? All of a sudden, I I remember, you know, just checking my YouTube page, trying to watch a video, and then it kept saying something about, you know, your account, something happened to your account. I was panicking. I emailed YouTube like a bunch of times, like six, seven times, because I was wondering what happened. I did not read the copyright email at first. I just read the latest email, which was your YouTube account is banned. I kept um, emailing YouTube. I thought it was my first account because my first account, I used to upload, AMVs and MMVs. Those were copyrighted stuff, but I never really got strikes for them. So that was very strange. And I remember trying my best to just reach out to them. And then I read those latter emails, and I was like, oh my goodness, they copy striked all 20 something in one go. Just in one snap, they took all videos down. It was so disappointing because they did not at least tell me something in the comments. Hey, can you take your videos down? They did not do that. And guess what? Guess what? Couple days before, even a week ago, I think, someone told me I should, play more of it, continue the series because not many people are uploading. That should have been an indication that that something is wrong, because how come a game that has wonderful art style, beautiful music, have so little people playing the game? Normally, like a bunch of people would have done let's plays by then, because the game came out long ago. So why aren't there many let's plays? And I remember basically, uploading constantly. I uploaded a lot of videos, but that one game I played really messed up my channel. And I remember just losing that full account, which I had like three channels on. Two of those channels I made content on, but the second channel was something I was so dedicated towards. I remember days when it would just be the weekend, just full weekends. I would just be editing a video. The video would be rendering. Takes like 6, 7 hours to render because of my laptop. It was so slow back then. I suffered a lot. I'm not even joking, you know, and to get your entire account banned and you can't do anything about it, that really broke my heart. And I tried contacting the the official company who made the game. I could not, I basically contacted them on Facebook, on their Facebook page, and nothing really happened. To be fair, they did not respond, and I just gave up. I was very disappointed. Then I created my main account. This is not my main account. My main account has like 62 subscribers. It's not something major, but that's my main account. This is my second channel, even though this second channel has more views. It really is better in some ways, but the main account was just for me making videos like gameplay, and mostly gameplay and other types of rants with geek culture. It is very disappointing that it happened. It really happened. So on that account, I had three channels, and the last channel was basically for commenting, just commenting like certain stuff, like on political videos. Then thankfully, I had this account. This account was created back in 2016, and I created a lot of extra accounts back then as well. However, this account was basically just you could say, just a random account. I never really planned to use it, but I was desperate, so I used this account, and then I started commenting. I started commenting, kept changing my name, and finally we have content. Okay, so YouTube kept changing the policies, and that's the thing that really vexes me, because every time you think you're close to monetization and then something happens. Now the threshold is 2,000 subscribers, I think. No, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time within 12 months. That is so insane. I remember the day they implemented it. I woke up one morning and I heard the news and I was so disappointed, because back then all you needed was like 2,000. No, no, was it 2,000? It was some amount of views you needed just to pass maybe 2,000 and something subscribers. Overall, 2,000 views wasn't that far of a reach, but I don't know the subscriber threshold. Regardless, now it's even more difficult, in my opinion, to get a lot of views unless you follow the trends. A lot of people will blame Mr. Beast for changing stuff, but I remember Mr. Beast back in 2017. And Mr. Beast, the reason why he grows so much is because he kept following trends. Remember when he spun a fidget spinner for like a certain amount of hours? Remember when he listened to It's Everyday Bro for like 24 hours? Remember that? Remember when he did that? Remember when he did all those things? And this was when he had like so little subscribers. And he was performing really well because he actually had dedication to do it. That's the thing. Now Mr. Beast needs to continue to pick up the pace with every piece of content he makes. So it always has to be grand, because he kept doing grand things. Now, now Mr. Beast's style of content is not new. People have been doing it way before him. He popularized the genre. he popularized genre just like how PewDiePie popularized gaming genre because back then he was the biggest gamer, but also he was someone who had giant personality and people loved him for it. So yeah, Mr. Beast. Now, in order to make money, a lot of extra money, you need to basically make content like Mr. Beast. The thing is that the content he does was never really his style, it's just other people's style. But he has his own way of basically repurposing things. Like, his style of thumbnails are very different from others. So people tend to copy him on that. And sometimes his ideas. And that's the thing now. It's like there's a reason why there's so many Mr. Beast clones because they're trying their best to make money. Gaming was already dying back in 2016, 17. 17 was like withering away. Yes, you had games like Fortnite, but the thing is that that was one game. That was one game. Compare one big game to like 20 or 60 big games from 2016. Because I remember 2016 there were so many big games. Hello Neighbor. What else? What else? Um, I'm trying to remember now. Great. Um, that was big. Hello Neighbor was big. I remember watching gameplay videos of Hello Neighbor. Every time there was a new version and the story kept changing and it kept getting so interesting. I don't like the final change. I think it's terrible. But back then there were so many different changes. It was so fun. You had that Furby game. I don't know what they called it. It was a Furby horror game. You had Sister Location. You had what else? What was that game called? It's a 2D horror game where you play as that young boy and you run around. It's very very simple, very very simple. You had that game. What else? You had that game with that giant beast. I forgot these games. You know, this giant dog beast. I don't know what you call it, but that game, a lot of hype for that game. What else? I'm trying to remember now. 2016 was so different. Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go. Gaming was very different back then. Gaming was so different back then and now. And, you know, I understand why Jacksepticeye kind of dislikes Mr. Beast for his content. But the thing is that Mr. Mr. Beast isn't really at fault. Mr. Beast, you can't blame Mr. Beast for people copying him. You can't do that. If I copy someone else, it's not their fault, it's my fault, you know. And the reason why those videos are getting in the main content page, the home pages, because good thumbnails, good title, the content itself must be good in order to be shared, and there you go. There you go. That's how it gets to the top. Also, YouTube is mostly prioritizing that type of content. So if you're trying to do gaming, there will be like one or two hits every few years, but that's about it. Remember Among Us 2020? The game isn't that popular. It's because of the memes, people talking about it. But I guarantee you, before Among Us 2016, there were like a bunch of games that just got popular without really any help from memes whatsoever. They just got popular because people were playing them. Even YouTube gaming was really big back then. And YouTube gaming used to be a trend back in the 2014s and stuff. I wasn't there, but at the time, people were making gaming channels. People who normally made like vlogs or makeup content started to make a second channel because it was trending. Maybe someone asked them to play a game, or maybe they just wanted to play games because it was getting popular. You understand what I'm trying to say? Gaming at the time was popular. A lot of people were trying to make that type of content too. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, so trends like this will always come and go. And gaming, it sucks that gaming is not the biggest thing because there are some really good titles out there. But not all of them, but some of them are really good. What else can I say? But honestly, gaming these days is just so different. So it depends on the type of trend people are trying to push. Ages ago, it used to be ages ago the trend was vlogs, and then it's commentary channels. Like like so much of type of content you need to just make constantly, you know, just to keep up with the trends. It's ridiculous. You might as well just do what you love and just have a small audience. Back in 2016, PewDiePie said this when he wanted to delete his 50 million channel, and I at the time did not understand what he was trying to say, because when you have so many subscribers, why would you want to go back to simpler times? It does not make any sense. And then as the years withered away, I started to understand why. Because the amount of controversies these big channels get, like freaking millions of subscribers, and yet they have so much controversy they cancel within a minute. I'm not saying that, that you are bound to get canceled once you get a million subscribers. No, it just feels like that that most of those channels who get to the top, some of them just get canceled, but even small channels get canceled too. So I'm not gonna think it's a canceling problem. It's just too much drama sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. Also, you have people just not really watching your content when you have so much to do. You want to do so much, you can't do it anymore because you don't know what to do. It's best to have a niche amount of subscribers, those who would watch you for the content you put out, because gaming is now more niche on the internet, unless it's like one popular game or two popular games. Okay, so we're about to we're about to end this rant. All I can say is that YouTube feels more of a side hustle now than compared to back in 2016, when you could make a living, like 100% living off this, or maybe 90% living off this, and 10% living off merch. You could possibly do that, but now you can't do that. YouTube is just basically you need to be safe in order to make money, and that's not great. Obviously, it's good to have side hustles. It's good to have multiple sources of income. If you do not have that, then you're not going to really make it on the internet. There were times where you could just make a couple thousands on YouTube and survive. Not anymore. So if you're trying to make YouTube your main thing, at least have like six or seven other. Well, okay, I'm being over dramatic. At least have like an extra way of earning money, because YouTube doesn't pay as much. I never got monetized ever. Some of y'all will get monetized, which makes sense, because the thing is that I'm kind of, I want to make content, I really do, but it's one of those things where it just feels like it just feels a bit annoying sometimes. So if you're trying to make content, make this your main source of revenue, at least make sure that you put extra effort into this and have two side hustles at least, because that's one way of earning some extra money. It's important to have side hustles now. Anyway, sorry about this little history and rant. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things where I'm not scripted. I just wanted to talk about this topic because it's an interesting topic. Anyways, I'm going to go. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.